What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Nephisto's Legacy podcast. Today we're doing something a little bit different. It's going to be pretty fun. I'm actually really excited about it. We have on someone who's actually been on the podcast before, and a lot of you guys know her. Her name is Nixie Nightmare. She used to be in 1126. Now she's in 1130 with us in FAFO, and she's actually going to be interviewing me for this podcast. So I hope you guys enjoy. And Nixie, I'll let you take it away from here.
All right. Hey, Smittens. It's Nixie Nightmare from now, server 1130. And today I will be interviewing Smitty, aka Smittens. So thank you, Smittens, for giving me this honor.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to have you.
So, yeah. Yes. Okay. Well, so I'll start off with kind of a simple question. A lot of people want to know about you. So, minus the game, minus the YouTube channel, they want to know who Smitty is. So, first things first, tell us a few, I guess, fun facts about yourself that you feel comfortable sharing, of course. So,
Yeah, for sure. So I was a swimmer. I started swimming in high school, actually. So I started swimming pretty late, but I swam in college. I got a scholarship, did really well in college where I swam. Also trained with a pro team in California for 2 years, and that was super fun. I've traveled probably like all around the US, really. I love to travel. I have a podcast management business as well, so this YouTube stuff is right up my alley. And I also have a daughter. She's a year and a half, so she's super cute. She definitely got all the
no.
good traits about me. No, just kidding. But no,
Girl dad. That's
yeah,
so cute.
yeah, no, she's awesome. And then yeah, I got a wife as
Well,
well.
good.
And yeah,
Nice, nice. Well, thank you. And all right, well, let's jump into it now that you've kind of, I guess, told us a little bit about yourself. Okay, so how did you get started in Last War? So, how did you find the app? I know a lot of us like to laugh about how we found the app, and, we were kind of, I guess, lied to when it came to those ads.
yeah,
And we just downloaded it thinking we were going to be like some math game. So, yeah, so how did you get started with Last War? How long have you been playing?
yeah. So well, actually, I found out at the game pretty similar to probably how majority of you guys did, like you said, with the ads and stuff like that. I got an ad about it. I think I was actually playing Monopoly Go, maybe. I used to play that game a lot, and I'm pretty sure that's where I saw the ad come up from. And I saw it probably like, I don't know, 10 times at least before I downloaded it. But yeah, I just saw the little
Mhm.
guy. It was like the frontline breakthrough where you just start shooting all the monsters and you get more troops and things like that. I'm like, oh, this could be a fun game to play just to blow up some time randomly if I'm bored. If I'm on the plane, maybe I don't need
Right.
Wi-Fi for it. I can just do something to pass the time. And yeah, it turns out it's like not even at all. As we all know, it's not even anything like the ads. That's like 1% of the game. I mean, it's actually I didn't realize how much of it of part of the game that it plays at the beginning when you first start, because a lot of you guys know Neff made a new account in 1819, and so I started a new account there, and I'm like, geez, I actually forgot how much of that frontline stuff that you have to do. But now that I've played the
Right.
game for a while, I'm actually so glad that a lot of it isn't that, because I'm like, geez, I'm getting so bored of just doing these stupid frontline things over and over again. So that's
Right. No, I agree.
that's how I found out about the game. And I don't know how long I've been playing, to be honest. I don't really keep track of the days. I kind of just go with the flow with it.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that's kind of how I found out about the game.
Yeah, similar here. I got lied to by those ads,
Hmm.
and I thought it was going to be like a math game, math frontline, whatever. And I usually get really bored of those. I've actually had a few of those games before, and I get bored of them after like about a good month. So this game just shocked me. And here I am a year later, stuck in this damn alliance. So, all right. So, next question. How did you end up in an alliance with Nephisto?
So I didn't know who Nephisto was when I started the game. I'd never heard of him. I didn't know that he was a really big gamer or anything like that. I just remember when I downloaded Last War, I was in some random alliance. I think it was called FSQ1 or maybe it's something different. I don't know. It started with an F. I barely remember it, but I just remember there was some. So like I said, I started a month late, and I remember there was some random guy who was like an HQ22 at the time, and he like randomly joined our
Mhm.
alliance, and I'm like, yo bro, like you're crazy strong, you're like the strongest one in the game, because like I said, I had no concept of anything, but he was the strongest guy I'd seen. I'd been playing, I think, for maybe, I would say, a week or less, probably up to this point. And then so he's like, no dude, he said, go to the middle, that's where all the strong people are, because I was on like the very outskirts of the map. And I was like, yo, bro, can you help me beat this Doom Walker? You know, that kind of thing. And then anyway, I'm like
Right.
talking with him, and then I'm like looking at his base, and next thing I know, I see some guy, which I think it was actually Pit Boss, if I remember correctly. I think Pit Boss at the time was HQ 26 maybe or 28, and he just teleports in there and just ashed him because they're in the middle of this big war with Fafo and MGMG at the time. And I was like, holy
Hmm.
crap. I was like, this guy's way stronger than him. I'm like, that's crazy. And then, yeah, eventually I asked him, like, hey, what was going on? Like, what happened with that? And then he kind of explained it to me. And he's like, hey, you should join FAFO, or I think he said SODS. That alliance doesn't exist anymore for us. But I ended up choosing FAFO, luckily. And so then, yeah, they accepted me in there, and I stuck with them ever since. And I've loved it there. And eventually the merge happened not too long after I joined, or at least there was,
Hmm.
well, maybe not the merge, but it was more so I think they started to settle more of a peace agreement because I never got ashed by anybody. Like I never got ashed by Neff or anybody when I joined, so I think it was just kind of getting sorted out after I joined. And then yeah,
Right.
I think season one came, and or it might have been just before season one. I can't remember, but yeah, then eventually Neff and Pit Boss joined, and the rest of they brought about a lot of the MGMG crew, and that's how I was like, oh
Hmm.
wow, so that's who Nephisto is. Like this guy's freaking insane. He's got some crazy power, and yeah, I mean, at first, like yeah, when I first started playing the game, I was like, this might be something I only play for a week. But once I joined FAFA, I realized, oh wow, like there's actually, you know, I started to see people's personalities. You start to build friendships, things like that, and
Right.
then I started to see who Neff was, and I never saw, I guess, at the start, you know, the part that people hate about him, like of him just ashing and terrorizing servers or whatever. I never
Right.
got an experience of that, but I'm glad. I mean, obviously, I'm sure it's probably not fun being on the other side of it, but yeah,
Right.
once I saw Nephisto, and it's kind of funny too. I always had this thought of like, oh, rich people don't play video games. I don't know why I had this thought, but I think it's just something like, oh, if you're successful, like you don't have time to play video games. But I realized, wow, there's actually a lot of really successful people who play games. There's a lot of great networking opportunities,
Yeah.
I feel like, within the game. And at first, that
Hmm.
was kind of my goal. Actually, is whenever like as I was playing the game, I really wanted to build a friendship with Nephisto, and I was like, let me see, like, what can I do to try to add value to him? What can I do to maybe support him? Like, what goals does he have in the game? And I just remember as I'd start to hear him talk, and he was saying some stuff in the Alliance chat once he joined, and saying like, oh, you know, we need somebody who can live stream or start like a YouTube channel, post these SVSs, because we did the one against, I think it was 1126, and it
Hmm.
was Chizgul Gaming, I think. Yeah, he did a live stream of our SVS. And
Right. 11:26 versus 11:30, right?
yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was that one. Yeah, so once I saw, I saw that SVS, and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, maybe I can do the live stream thing. I was like, I'm comfortable on camera, but I've never done live streaming before. I don't have really equipment for it, things like that. And
Hmm.
I guess this is kind of segueing into, I didn't even think I was going to talk about this part, but I think it's something that I should share as well, is kind of a different side to Nefista that a lot of you guys don't maybe see, or like if you've heard bad things about him. So
Hmm.
during this part of my life, I was kind of going through a rough patch. So I had a 2013 MacBook Pro. Like the bottom was falling apart. It was super old. Like yeah, it was like not really. It was hanging on by a thread, literally, like by a couple screws. It seemed like. And at the time, I just started the YouTube channel, and I sent Neff a couple videos, and I said, "Hey, bro, like I just decided to make these for you. Like, what do you think?" And he really loved it, and we're like, "Okay, let's run with this." And so I started the channel. I think I'd post like 2 or 3 videos, and then out of nowhere, my laptop just completely stopped working out of the blue, like for no reason. And
Oh
then
no.
I texted Neff, and I was like, yo, bro, it may be a while before I get out any more videos. I said, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do because at the time I was really financially strapped. I didn't really have much
Hmm.
money to even afford really another computer, to be honest. And then
Right.
I asked Neff, I was like, you don't know anyone who's got like a spare computer or something like that? And he said, I got you, bro. And so he sent me his old Alienware PC, and he sent me like pretty much he sponsored my whole setup for me. So that's kind of a side to Neff that probably
Oh.
people don't see. So definitely shout out to him. Super grateful
Hmm.
for him. And he came through for me at a
Yes.
pretty crucial time where I definitely wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for him. So he's definitely was a blessing in my life.
Yes, yes, he's a good one.
Hmm.
And I'm glad he was able to help you out with that.
Hmm. Yeah.
All right. So, after you explained all that, what's it really like working with Nephisto? I know you told us a little bit,
Hmm.
but like on a day-to-day basis in the Alliance, I know you're an R4.
Hmm.
Obviously, you run his YouTube channel, so I'm sure you communicate with him every day.
Hmm.
What's it like? He's such an intense personality.
Yeah.
So, how would you describe it?
So I think in the game it's a little bit different than outside of the game. Like outside of the game, it's definitely
Hmm.
we have more of a friendship dynamic. Inside of the game,
Right.
it's a lot of trolling. It's honestly it's really just fun to watch him troll and to have. Okay, let me say it like this. One thing that you have to be ready for if you're gonna play with Neff is you have to be prepared to have a lot of people against you, like in the surrounding groups. Like you have to
Hmm.
be prepared for 4v1s, 6v1s, even like 10 alliances v1 or more. Like you, because his style of gameplay is like he wants to make enemies to make the gameplay experience more fun. It's not because he actually hates the people. Like it's not, he's not someone that just is trying to. Yeah, he doesn't try to like. He doesn't hate people, He just does it because he wants to
Right.
make the game more challenging for him. He wants to have stakes. He wants to have the adrenaline rush, and that's just what makes it fun for him. He's playing it to have fun, just like everybody else. And so, if you're gonna be
Right.
in, well, if you're on the same team as him, it's definitely a lot of fun. You definitely get those adrenaline rushes, and
Hmm.
I'm just thinking like when we went against GQD in the Furnace Wars, and then also Prey when we destroyed their outpost. Both of those were like huge adrenaline rushes and dopamine rushes. Like once we won, it was like holy cow, this feels so good. So honestly, those are probably my
Hmm.
top two dopamine like feel good moments is when we won those two battles. But
Right.
yeah, working with Neff as far as inside the game, it's definitely well, part of it depends on your position. At the end of the day, it's really like if the leadership is wanting you to do something, then obviously, following what the leadership says and just communicating well, staying active, doing the like participating in verses, you know, kind of just like as long as you're following the
Hmm.
standards in our alliance, you're pretty good. Like he's actually like really
Right.
nice to us in the alliance. A lot of people think he's mean and like yells at us. He's not like that at all. We've all built like a
Right.
really good friendship and community within the alliance. So, but I guess
Hmm.
if you're on the other side of like one of the enemies of our server, I guess what I'll say is buckle up. That's probably my best piece of advice for you.
Yeah.
Really, that's all I can say. That's what it's like.
Exactly.
It's just get your seatbelt ready because it's gonna be it's gonna be a fun but a very long and challenging ride. But a lot of the enemies even said if it
Yes.
wasn't for Nephisto, then we probably wouldn't even still be playing or after they stop playing with Nephisto and they have another season, they're like, dang, so much more boring without him.
Right. And they start leaving.
Yep, exactly.
So, but yeah, yeah, he definitely makes it a lot more exciting
Hmm.
for many.
For sure.
Okay, so I'm kind of going to circle back to the YouTube channel.
Hmm.
You kind of went over, I guess you gave us the background, the backstory
Hmm.
of how you kind of started it.
Hmm.
So, what I want to know is what are your favorite types of videos to create for the channel? And what are your least favorite videos to create?
Yeah. Well, least favorite? I wouldn't say I have a least favorite. I mean, there's definitely parts of it that are can be very tedious when it comes to the editing. So, for example, like
Right.
these podcasts, like I do love doing them, and I know a lot of the viewers love them, but they're definitely the hardest to make because there's a lot of tedious editing with the captions and things like that, where just in cutting
Hmm.
out, a lot of different filler words. But yeah, I would say the podcasts are probably the hardest to do. I wouldn't say I don't hate them. I actually enjoy them a lot. It's more so just the
Hmm.
editing that can be pretty tedious and it takes a long time. Like I can spend anywhere from 16 plus hours just on one podcast video, whereas some of the other ones are a lot quicker.
Hmm.
But I think the ones
Right.
I enjoy making the most probably are some of the trash talk banter videos, just like the little shorts. I know I made some against TNFD recently, and I make some against Mr. Nice in the past with GQD, and those are always
Hmm.
fun. I like to troll,
Yeah.
even though I can be like,
Hmm.
I'm actually a nice guy, but in the game it's fun for me. Like I enjoy trolling. I enjoy making like little trash talk videos, things like that. It's never anything personal. It's just for
Hmm.
fun, but I don't know. I think those are like the
Yeah.
ones I have fun making. Like I'll be making, I'm like literally like laughing as I'm, editing the videos and things like that. It's funny.
Yeah, I figured those were your favorites. They seem pretty enjoyable to create. They're
Mhm.
always funny.
Yeah.
Okay, and now we're going to go to some questions that some users in the server, Nephisto's Legacy on Discord, sent in.
Hmm.
So I'll start off with this one. What has been your most memorable moment in the game so far?
That's a good question. Memorable. This probably will be the most memorable, I would say, unless something tops it. But I really think just those two battles with Prey and GQD, like defending against GQD and breaking Prey's furnace in the Alliance War.
Mhm.
I think those are definitely some of
Right.
the most memorable moments, just because of just the way it made me feel. Because we lost to GQD defending or attacking our furnace previously, and we lost attacking Prey's furnace
Mhm.
previously. There's been a lot of tension and buildup leading up to those 2 points, and especially against GQD, like the odds were, they looked like they were kind of stacked against us. I mean, we had obviously GQD was the only one attacking our furnace, and they have some pretty strong whales
Mhm.
there, but also, I mean, a lot of people showed up from their faction. Pretty much every single alliance battle or furnace battle that we had, a lot of people showed up from their faction to try to attack us, all of us that were in the mud, things like that. People are constantly running rallies
Mhm.
on our big guys to try to kill their troops, ash them, things like that. So it definitely made it pretty hard, and the odds were stacked against us. But luckily, we pulled through, and that was a really fun experience for sure. Also, I think
Nice.
one experience too that I think I'll never forget is when it's so stupid, but it's actually, I don't know why, it's just really funny. Is in season one with Chubster, when Neff and Chubster, I love watching when they would go at it. It was always so fun in world or in season chat,
Oh yeah.
and then every time we'd get to the outpost, like he would always show up, and he knew he wasn't gonna get it. He would just try to troll us, things like that. And I just remember there was this one time with
Yeah.
Chubster where he was like sending in Lokis and stuff just to like knock out other people's Lokis as a joke. And I'm like sending my Loki in, and but what he was doing before is he would like get right in front of it and then pull out at the very last second, so that way he wouldn't lose any troops. Anyway, he kept watching me. I kept sending my Loki and he'd send his in, and then I let mine stay in the outpost, and I literally pulled it out at the very very last second right before his got there, so that way his bounced. And he sends
Mhm.
me a message. He's like, "Bro, really?" And then he's like, "I'm dying laughing right now." He's like, "I can't believe you just did that." like I just pulled out. I was like being afraid of his Loki or something. I don't know. It's so stupid, but it was just like kind of a funny moment with him. But yeah, that was a
Yeah.
pretty funny one.
That's funny.
Hmm.
Good times, good times. Season one was fun for
Yeah,
sure.
there was.
Yeah, the banter and season chat and event chat. Oh, I love it. I miss
Hmm.
it. All right. So, next question from a user in the Discord. Transfers just happened.
Hmm.
So, what are your expectations
Hmm.
for 11:30 post transfers?
Yeah, I like that question. So, yeah,
Hmm.
we definitely had a lot of people leave, which I think was pretty expected to say the least in our server. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, 11:30 is going to be dead. Like, they're not going to have that many people compared to how many people left. And yeah, I mean, that's probably a fair statement, but we definitely got some really solid recruits in. I'm very excited, with a lot of our blue, purple, and obviously our gold chair. I think they're all going to be super
Right.
useful, and obviously the white chairs too. I don't know if we have any white chairs
Hmm.
in our alliance who joined, but if we do, I don't know if I've really met them. But yeah, we definitely have some
Hmm.
really good recruits that have come in, and I think especially when the new tech comes out, like which we will be getting very soon. I mean, we technically have it.
Hmm.
It's just you have to wait like 2 weeks or so with the oil to get enough, but. I think we have a positive future for 11:30. I know a lot of people don't think that, especially those who left or those who are on the enemy servers. But we got a really strong gold chair with Captain No Name coming in, which was awesome. And then obviously Nephisto
Hmm.
is going to keep growing. Like in the next couple like week or so, I guarantee he's going to be shooting up some crazy power and getting some pretty insane numbers
Oh,
where
yeah.
it's not even going to be close with anybody. So I think we're in a good
Hmm.
position. We like we always say, we like to have challenges where the odds are stacked against us. So we have less people, which is obviously a disadvantage, but that's kind of the way we like it. Like we want to have people against us. We want to have like the disadvantage because it makes it better when you win. When you have the odds stacked against you and you pull through, and it almost feels like can we even do it? Like, I don't even know if this is possible. And then you do
Right. The
it.
underdog.
Yeah, we love the
Hmm.
underdog story over here. It feels so good when you win.
Oh, yeah. I like that. And I'm excited to finally play with y'all
I know
this season. So,
Nixie was one of our purple recruits, and so she's definitely going to be a great asset to the team.
yeah, I'm excited. It's already been a few days and I can't wait for season 3 already. So,
Mm-hmm.
definitely looking forward to that.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Next question from another user. This is from Pesho. He's in our alliance,
Yep.
right?
Yep. He's in our alliance.
He asks, since Smittens has covered and participated in multiple SVS battles and various servers, what does it take to win an SVS tournament?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think kind of the standard answer is obviously participation. Like one whale can't win everything. They definitely make a significant impact, but you do need to have some form of participation. But it's hard to say exactly. I mean, part of it is a little bit of a case by case basis on what your server looks like, but I
Hmm.
guess just playing it safe, participation obviously is a key factor. Great communication with your whales, like within your server. So I know jumping on a Discord call and just saying like, "Hey, I need you to cover certain things or focus on this, focus on that, whatever it is." I think that's super helpful.
Right.
Making sure that your engineers are on point with the rune removal, I think is super important too. So that way, they can get good locations when somebody gets ashed. And then
Hmm.
also, if you are, let's say you're not a whale, you're just a random, just your typical average player, and you're completely out of troops, or even if you have a little bit of troops left, but you're not really gonna be doing much. Keep teleporting around the big guys like the whales, because like the more space that you can create between them and the other servers' whales, that's going to be better because they have longer march times. They have more time to prepare. You want to do as much as you can to
Hmm.
separate your whales from the other team's whales when they're trying to attack them. The longer the march times, the better. That's really the goal of low level
Yep.
players once they run out of troops. And even with troops, too. I mean, if you know that you're not going to be able to make that much of a difference in holding the cannons, the capitals, things like that, not saying it's not important to be in there, but it's just as important to have
Hmm.
to be protecting the whales because they're really the ones that are holding it more than anything.
Exactly. Sometimes people view the white chairs and the blue chairs as not really important. Like you said, like not really able to make a difference, but I view them differently. I think they are very important.
Yeah.
And just for what you explained, basically, that is very important. So, I was happy to see that servers were allowed to take in multiple blues and whites
Mm-hmm.
because if we have enough active ones, that could make a huge difference
Mm-hmm.
in these battles and SVSs.
Yeah.
So I do. I think that they are just as important as purples and golds but yeah, they are very important. Okay, next question. What is, and this is from Dev in 1154,
Mm-hmm.
what is your favorite thing about Last War?
So it's kind of related to Last War, but really it's just the community. Like it's not even an aspect of the game of like the logistics of what you do in the game. It's more so of just the community that you make and that you meet when you're in a good
Hmm.
alliance, when the friends you make. I really love the community aspect more than anything in the game. I mean, yes, there's different
Hmm.
parts of it that are fun outside of the community, but I think without like having friends in the alliance and without having good friendships and relationships with people in the alliance, it doesn't make the victories or the wins nearly as sweet. When you have great teamwork and you work together, like I'm just thinking about back to when we were working with trying to destroy Prey's alliance. Like that was we had some great communication. We were all on Discord. We all were having a great time. We had a lot of fun and we had insane coordination. Like we all had our designated spots that we were going to go to. Like we had such a good game plan and strategy
Hmm.
and working together. And yeah, when we got the win, it just felt so good, and it was because of us working together as a team, and it was fun to share it with the team, and it definitely wasn't like a selfish
Right.
thing by any means. It was like we did this together. It was a ton of fun,
Hmm.
and yeah, it's just fun to win and celebrate with your friends. You go through the hard times with them. We've had
Yeah.
our fair share of losses as well. We aren't invincible by any
Hmm.
means, but we definitely have also had our fair share of wins, and so whenever we win, it makes it it makes it even sweeter. After you have those losses.
Right. Agreed. You got to be able to accept a few losses to really appreciate a win.
Hmm.
So I do understand that very much so.
Hmm. Oh yeah.
Okay. So, last but not least, last question.
Mhm.
What is one piece of advice you consider vital for the beginners in Last War and for creators on YouTube? So, it's like a two-part
Mhm.
question. You can
Yeah.
start with Last War.
Yeah. So when you're starting out in Last War, I think it's important to make sure that you get in a good alliance. I think that's definitely probably I mean, it's so much harder to grow if you don't have a good alliance or an active alliance, let alone not being in an alliance period.
Mm-hmm.
Because when people purchase, you get all the gifts and stuff like that. You get the free gifts when people run rallies, those kinds of things. So you get great rewards. You get tons of buffs as well, being in a good alliance. So it really makes a huge difference. All the helps that you get, like whenever you do a build or research, you click the help button and drops off tons of hours of time. Maybe not quite as much at the beginning, but
Right.
as you progress in the game, it definitely really it plays a huge factor in your builds and research and upgrades. So yeah, I would say joining
Mm-hmm.
a good alliance is probably the most important thing you can do long term for growth in
Mm-hmm.
the game. Outside of obviously spending money if you have the means to, but whether you're a free to play player or you spend money, it's still going to benefit you a ton being in a good alliance. So that would be the best piece of advice that
Right.
I would give to anyone playing Last War. As far as YouTube creators, I think just have fun with it is the first thing. Like for me, I love this so much. Like I have so much fun doing these. I love doing this more than my actual like podcast management business, even though it's kind of in the same alley, but I love video games and I love creating content around it. Like I have
Right.
so much fun. I love the feedback. So another thing
Mm-hmm.
is definitely engage as much as you can with your audience. Like I make sure I respond to every single comment, no matter what, even the hate ones. Like a lot of people probably don't do that,
Right.
and if you don't, like it doesn't really like you don't have to, I guess, the hate comments. But I respond to every single comment,
Mm-hmm.
like whether they're hating on me, trash talking me, whatever. Like I respond if they troll me, I troll them back,
Mm-hmm.
and I joke around. I never take anything personally. That's another thing is
Yes.
you will get hate no
Mm-hmm.
matter what. Like for me, I know that being associated with Nephisto, I will get a lot of hate, and I'm perfectly okay accepting that. I've
100%.
I've had some pretty crazy comments in the past,
Right.
like people like really going at me for stuff, or just calling me names, or
Yo, yeah.
even making some like surprisingly some like racial type comments towards me, which I was kind of like confused about. But I mean, none of it even bothered me. I mean, I just trolled back or whatever, and like yeah, he never
Right.
responded to either way. I'm not like mean or anything like that, but if you're gonna give me some heat, man, like you gotta be ready to take it back. We're in a war game, even though it's on YouTube, but that's the culture. If you troll someone, then be ready to get trolled back. So, but yeah, I don't take anything personally. Everything
Exactly.
is lots of fun, and I think with
Mm-hmm.
the comments and I, I I just love the community aspect of building a YouTube channel as well. That's one thing that I love.
Right.
I think that's a common theme for me is I just love the community aspect of in the game on YouTube, and you start to create fans that are very loyal to you and that love your stuff. And so at the end of the day, as a YouTube or any creator, really, whether you're on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, is always keep your viewers in mind.
Mm-hmm.
So you always want to think about, like, of course you want to make videos that you enjoy making, but it's like, what does your audience want to see? What questions might they have? What kind of, like, I did a poll at one point in our Discord trying to figure out, like, do they like the educational videos more? Do they like the war videos more, like of Nephisto battling, or do they like the podcast?
Mm-hmm.
Like I was just trying to figure out what kind of videos they like, so that way I can tailor to my audience, so I know what to focus on, or if they just kind of like a blend of everything. And at least for my audience, it seemed like
Right.
there's a pretty even blend, I would say. I think it was maybe
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know, the split. It was like a three-way split. And yeah, the three categories were really pretty close. I think there was only maybe like a 6% difference or so between the three categories, from the lowest percent to the
Oh,
highest one.
wow.
So yeah, that's why I do a pretty fair balance
Mm-hmm.
with mine. But yeah, I mean, I think just have fun with it and just really try to engage your community as much as possible. Think of what you can do to add value to them, make them laugh. Because at the end of the day, you're an entertainer. You're there to entertain them, to help them relax in a sense. Like, think of your channel and your videos are what people do when they're just trying to relax and shut off and just have a good time. And just kind of like the game, they're there to shut off
Right.
and have a good time. And so try to give them that experience. Your job on YouTube is to give them an experience that makes them want to keep coming back and seeing more of your content. because it makes them feel good, whether it's through
Right.
laughter, whether it's through
Yeah.
excitements, whatever it is.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's the whole point of social media.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's supposed to be an escape.
Mm-hmm.
So people want to escape and they don't want to escape into something negative.
Yeah.
You know, they want to escape into something positive. So yeah, so I think laughter and, you know, kind of going back to what you said about hate comments,
Mm-hmm.
that's one thing I'm still adjusting to.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've gotten better though, the last like recent months, and especially being associated with Neff. I feel like I didn't have thick enough skin. So I do agree with you that you have to just remember not to take anything too seriously.
Yeah.
But I do think it's made me a little bit tougher. Like I feel like I can handle more. But yeah, I do agree with you about that. Just everyone needs to remember, just don't take game banter or even hate comments, even if they get personal, you know, try not to take them too seriously because it is everywhere. It runs rampant
Yep.
on this game and on the internet in general.
Mm-hmm. One thing that I want to say too is you have to remember that the people that are hating on you at the end of the day, like, they're people that you're probably never going to see ever in your life and you're never going to talk to after you're done playing the game. So, like, their opinions don't matter. They're human just like you, and
Yeah.
they're not that they're irrelevant as people, but they are irrelevant in your life. Like, they make no difference in your life,
Yeah.
whether they hate, whether they are nice to you, whatever. Like, if they're nice to you, obviously, yeah, it makes you feel good. If they hate, maybe it bothers you a little bit. But at the end of the day, it doesn't change anything
Yeah.
about you as long as you know who you are. And that's really the most important thing, is as long as you know who you are, that you're a good person, and that, like, what your values are and what you stand for. I think that's really the most important thing.
Agreed. Agreed. You know, just because we choose a certain route in a game that's fun for us and join the people that make it fun for us doesn't mean we are some monsters outside of the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're still human. We still have feelings. We still live normal lives.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes people need to remember that. And to me, that's definitely advice that I feel like we should give beginners and especially younger people. You know, there's a lot of younger, I guess, I wouldn't say kids, but like, you know, teenagers, people in their early 20s, just younger people in general on this game. And it's just important, I think, that they're prepared.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's my round of questions for you.
Awesome.
And thank you for letting me interview you.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. It was a fun experience being on the other side
Yes.
of it, and definitely hope that I added a lot of value to the viewers, that you guys all were able to maybe get to know me a little bit more than you knew me before, and that you guys enjoyed it. So anyway, make sure you guys like, comment,
Yes.
subscribe, share with your friends. You guys know the drill, and we will see you in the next podcast episode.